Hello people, let us look at some ENT question papers from different parts of India. So this is one from South India. Here you can look at the ENT question paper. So there is basically two long essays for 10 marks. So here they are asking you allergic rhinitis. They're asking you you'll have to write the etiology, why it happens, clinical features, management of allergic rhinitis, antihistamines. What will you give here? Management of allergic rhinitis. So about the allergen extra, cholesteatoma is yet another important question here for 10 marks, right? Then how will you manage cholesteatoma? So you'll have to write about the canal wall up, wall down procedure, modified radical mastoidectomy, etc. Then oral submucous fibrosis. This is because of chewing beetle, red beetle nut, that is areca nut, right? Rhinoscleroma of nose, very important question. Lot of terminologies here. Mucoelic cells. Then what else do you have here? Klebsiella rhinoscleromatis causes it. Then you have a lot of terminologies come in this. That's why it is very important. Rhinoscleroma, it's very common. Okay. Then radical mastoidectomy, you will have to explain what exactly you're doing here, the procedure, the indications for radical mastoidectomy, etc. So these are 5-mark questions what we are looking at actually. Antrochoanal polyp, guys. So basically this one is because of what? Antrochoanal polyp is from the maxillary antrum. So this will usually be infective cause, isn't it? It will be in children. It will be unilateral, solitary, growing backwards, hang down from behind the soft palate. It is, if you remove it, it will not recur. It is solitary. Then what else? Trilobed, antral, nasal and choanal parts. So you'll do FESS surgery for this, right? You can see Dodd sign also. Frontal mucocele, basically. You will have to explain the complications. This is actually a complication of the frontal sinusitis, right? Then this can become what? It can become a fistula, right? It can fistula or a sinus, right? It can become a sinus. Then you can talk about POTS, puffy tumor, etc. Cold abscess of neck. Basically, here you'll have to explain the tuberculous lymphadenitis, the cold, then mat stage. So many stages are there, right? Then chronic maxillary sinusitis. You'll have to explain the clinical features and management of what? Chronic maxillary sinusitis. A lot of sinusitis questions are there here. Right, presbyacusis, this is age-related hearing loss. So you will have to draw the graph for presbyacusis. It will be something like this. It will go down, down, down with age, kind of a thing. Malignant otitis externa because of pseudomonas, isn't it? It will be, will it cause loss of bone? Yeah, just check that. Rhinitis medicamentosa because of nasal decongestants, excess usage, the hypertrophy of the turbinates, all that you will write. Then coming to 3-mark questions, guys, they have asked you about the tympanic membrane. You'll have to draw the diagram, explain the parts of the tympanic membrane, what exactly is tympanic membrane, all that you write. Inverted papilloma in the lateral wall of the nose. So basically, the papilla grows into the stroma from the epithelium, right? And basically, this can write everything else about it. Adenoid facies, basically, if the adenoids have grown so large that the person cannot breathe via the nose, he breathes via the mouth. So he'll have a long face, elongated face with a palate will be arched and his teeth will be crowded in front. Then his nose will be how? How will his nose be pinched, right? And then what is saddle nose? They're asking saddle nose basically if there is leprosy or any other disease also. Or if there is some trauma to your nose, if there is some surgery where you have removed the septums, saddle nose basically, how do you reconstruct it also you can say. Then coming to choanal atresia, behind the nose, what will be there? So if this is your nose and this is your mouth, so in the nasopharynx at the back, you will have a membrane that will become choanal atresia. If it is bilateral, then the person cannot breathe. So in neonates, they will check for this. Vincent's angina, guys. Vincent's angina is because of Borrelia vincenti bacteria. It is gingivitis, all that you will write. Vocal nodules, basically vocal nodules is bilateral. It is just voice rest if you give it enough. Then coming to management of acute tonsillitis, how will you manage acute tonsillitis, guys? You can give antibiotics, right? Do you need to drain it if it is acute? Check that. Then tympanosclerosis, when does the tympanic membrane get sclerosed? Will it get sclerosed after an infection or something? How will the curve be? Because it is sclerosed, it will have a declined, lower compliance, isn't it? Nerve supply of external ear. So external ear means you'll have to explain external canal and the pinna. Both of the nerve supply you have to explain, I'm guessing. So for the pinna, you will explain those nerves, and then for the external ear canal also explain, guys. Don't forget to explain for both. Excellent, guys. You have looked at one paper that is from South India. Let us look at one from the Central India kind of a thing. Look at this. So here they have MCQs in the ENT paper. So here they have pars flaccida of the tympanic membrane is also called as what? I think it's shrapnel membrane, isn't it? Then Weber's test is what for? Then bilateral conductive deafness, tinnitus, positive family history. What is this? Bilateral conductive deafness, tinnitus, positive family history. Because they didn't say vertigo here, I would like to rule out Meniere's. Otitis media, is that because of family history? Tympanoslivs, I would like to go with otospongiosis here, okay? But just check the answer, guys. Wegener's and Grossman's theory is for what? Wegener's Grossman's theory, I've heard this somewhere, isn't it? It's something to do with the recurrent laryngeal nerve, so I'm thinking you already guessed it. Tracheostomy is indicated in all except. Will you do it in bilateral vocal palsy? I think you will do. Foreign body of the larynx, yes, you can do. Tracheostenosis, uncomplicated asthma. I think it's uncomplicated. If it's uncomplicated, why do you want to do? Anyways, guys, check the answer. Which of the following region involved in Plummer-Vinson syndrome? This is the post-cricoid region, I'm thinking. Just check, guys, please check. Thumb sign epiglottitis, I'm guessing. Nasopharyngeal carcinoma causes deafness by. How does it cause deafness? Just check this. Then quinsy is synonymous with peritonsillar abscess, isn't it? Correct. There is peritonsillar abscess, there is parapharyngeal abscess, retropharyngeal abscess. There's nothing like this one, isn't it? Woodruff plexus is seen at. Woodruff plexus is seen at. So it is a venous plexus. So I'm thinking it is posterior. Okay. So where is the answer? Can you guess the answer in this? Just check that. Okay. Then coming to long answers, you have two long answers here. The main question they have asked here is on the nasal polyp. So same thing. You will write the difference between the antrochoanal polyp and the bilateral ethmoidal polyps. So then next question, important question they are giving you is conductive hearing loss. What is the mechanism of sound conduction mechanism in ear? So you'll have to write all that impedance matching and all that, right? Impedance matching, isn't it? Because of the size of the tympanic membrane and the oval window, all that you'll have to write. They're only asking the conduction. So here you'll have to write about conduction only. I'm thinking you don't have to write about that Bonn-Bekesi theory of hearing, etc. That basilar membrane. Principles of management of conductive hearing loss. How will you manage cause of the conductive hearing loss? Principle. Cause of conductive hearing loss, you can come from external ear, then middle ear, etc. All those structures you will write. Principles of management, you can write, there are so many principles, isn't it? You have hearing aids, you have implants, you have some assistants, you can give them assistance, etc. Great, guys. I think you know it, right? Or you want to see the managed. Look at this. If you have forgotten, you have hearing aid, implants, assisted devices. Then you have training, speech or lip reading, auditory training, speech conservation, sign language, written communication. So all this you have, you know, right? Very good. So next, what is this? Where are we? Short essay type. Any two. Any two. Oh, they can answer any two. And they can answer any two in this. They can answer any two in this. Hey, these people are really lucky. What about this long one? Any one. So they have MCQs and they can answer any one, any two. These people are very lucky. Okay. Then short essay type questions. Papillomalarynx. Okay, that is the juvenile recurrent in juveniles it will be recurrent, but in adults it will be like you remove and they don't recur, isn't it? Acute retropharyngeal abscess. So you will talk about how to drain it, how to manage it, what are the complications of retropharyngeal abscess, etc. What is tinnitus? So basically ringing in the ear without any external stimulus, but it can be subjective, objective. So objective you will write because of this carotid aneurysms, etc. Subjective can be because of Meniere's disease and all, right? Classification and causes of this, you'll have to write all this. Then how will you manage didn't ask. Okay. How's it going, guys? We'll be done very soon. Don't worry. We are almost at the end. What are the causes of trismus? Trismus causes, guys, you can write all those tonsillar abscess, Ludwig's angina, I'm thinking, right? You can write a lot of cases like that. Little's area, basically same thing, right? Okay, this is the Kieselblack's plexus you'll have to write. Then coming to Ludwig's angina because of the submandibular space infection, right? Write this. Premolar tooth, molar tooth, and how different it is, then how you'll manage it, etc. Then coming to the last part here, for how many marks is this? They're asking 2 marks, no, 2.5 marks. Okay. So they are asking you malignant otitis externa, looks very important, guys. Pseudomonas, all that you write. Sinus nodules is nothing but the vocal nodules, right? Same thing, very important. Then indications for tracheostomy, right? All those indications. You have the respiratory insufficiency, respiratory obstruction, secretions. Then to manage anesthesia. What else is there? Intermittent positive pressure respiration, IPPR. So that's it, guys. We have looked at 2 question papers, 2 different types from 2 different universities for ENT. Remember, the pattern is so different when it comes to one paper where we saw there is just a long answer, short answer, and short essay, basically. No choice given, no multiple choice questions. They have to answer all the questions. And then comes another paper where we saw they have MCQs. And for each long answer, short essay, and short answer, they have options. They can just answer a few of the questions given. They can choose. I'm sure it's very easy to pass in this one. But MCQs, they need to know, right?